How's it going, everybody? I'm doing a request here today. I believe this was given to me on Instagram. I was talking with someone on Instagram, and they mentioned this. I was like, that's a good idea. But it's a kind of garage sale season recap. I'm not going to show everything I picked up at the garage sales, but I'm going to go over, and I'll talk about some of the other stuff as well that I didn't bring out, but I took out some of the more exciting things, or valuable things, whatever you want to call them. I did start off the garage sale season with I didn't take it out, but it was like, what was it, like 20 Goosebumps books for $5 or something. That was all the way back in April. And then I had some other things, and then there was I had to go down to Florida for a little bit in June. My aunt had the shoulder replacement, then I missed other weekends here and there, and then it was just, even when I came back, it was just slow. Not much going on, and then, October, and that, like, maybe it was the first week in November, there was a pickup. Actually, I did probably my best pickups over that time, but overall, it was an okay season. If I'm going back to, like, seasons that actually were huge, it's probably 2009 was the big one. I was getting stuff left and right. I was obviously out in Mass Peak with then, and it was like, I think I picked up like 4 Genesis systems over the summer, 2 GameCubes, GBAs, Game Boy Colors. I did come across the original Xbox. I got rid of that one. That one was busted. It worked, but it was really, like, messed up. Like, cosmetically, it looked like shit, but it did work. I got a PS2. I had to probably got more than one PS2. I'm trying to think, like, I can think back. I got Sega CD stuff. Actually, I'm going to babble out 2009 real quick. I probably talked about this in the past, maybe. I was coming home from somewhere. It was a G sales on a Friday. And I'm like, I gotta stop here real quick. And they had Sega CD games, and they had like a crate, the old milk crates there's a Genesis in there, a Sega CD, a couple of NHL games, a bunch of connections, the arcade stick for the Genesis, and some other controllers. And they wanted like 50 for that. I was like, no, I can't. I don't want to do 50 for that, but they had like 10, it was like 9 Sega CD games, for $10. I'm like, I'll take these. That was awesome. Night Trap was in there, but the funny thing is, I'll get to it in a second. Night Trap was in there. I think the Sherlock Holmes game, Time Gal. Overall, it was pretty decent ones. Soul Feast was one. I can't remember all of them, unfortunately. But anyway, I'm like, Night Trap only had one of the discs. Like, and then I went back to the garage sale the next day. This is where you could do this. Now, like, stuff's gone very quickly. But in 2009, there was still an opportunity to get stuff the following day. Same crates there, but now it's only $10. I was like, yeah, I'll take that for $10. That had the Sega CD that actually had the other disc of Night Trap in it, which I had a feeling. I'm like, I wonder if it's in there. The Genesis, there was like 5 power cords, the adapters. There was NHL 93, 94, and I think 95, maybe even 96. There was the Genesis arcade stick, a couple controllers. Like, it was pretty cool. Anyway, enough of the 2009. That's some of the stuff I got. This is something I got a few weeks ago. Maybe it was like almost 2 months ago now. I'm not bringing all this stuff out, but it's a Wii system. It does have stickers on. This was $10. It had a racing wheel in there. Mario Kart was in the system itself. There's a couple Wii remotes in there, nunchucks. Some of the holders, the condoms, they call them. You put on the grips or whatever. And the connection, all the proper connections, and the sensor bar. $10, good deal. Wii's have actually, like, back even like 5-6 years ago, Wii's were not. I feel like you can get a Wii for $30. Now these things are like $70, $80. They're cool because they play the Cube. It's got the, slots for Cube, ports, and memory cards. The port for GameCube controllers, I should say. And the funny thing is, still have not fully tested this. I know what goes on. It turns on because I plugged it in real quick and just got the disc out. Because I'm always curious if there's discs in these things. Any system I get. And literally more than half the time, something's in there. And I'll show you in the next one. But yeah, this is a good one. The other system I got was earlier on. I got this. I got that headlight that I was going to use for video. I still haven't opened. Like head flashlight. I got a couple 360 games like Civilization Revolution, the Indie Kung Fu Panda combo, FIFA Street. I got this as well. The PS2 Slim. This was 10. It had. Oh, what did it have with it? It did not have a controller. It does work. It had the power cable, but it was missing one of the parts to it. And I have a Vita. The Vita power connection has that same kind of thing you plug into it. I think it did have the AV cable as well. It did not have a controller. This thing is tiny compared to the other one, but a little dusty, and the little thing doesn't go down all the way. But this one had, it's still in there, I never took it out, Star Wars. Which one is that? Return of the Jedi. I guess that's a DVD. And like I said, more than half the time you're going to find something in these things. Especially in Wii systems. Like, it's funny, it's like whoever had these things, they unhook it at some point, stop using it, and there's still whatever game they played was in there last, and then it sits around wherever in a box and ends up getting sold to garage like 10 years later. Because this has a different power connector than the PS2, the fat PS2, the original model. Which is just like a regular cable thing. Power adapter. This is cool. These ones have value too. If I'd ever decide to sell it, I have extra things, cords. Like I come across cords over the years. I'm talking. And a lot of times I don't get rid of them because I'm not selling just cords. So I threw them in a bin. I have Dreamcast connections, GameCubes, N64, shit like that. Those are the two systems. I don't think I came across any other systems that I bought. I saw other systems, but those are the two I bought. Did I get any handhelds? I don't think so. This is a couple of games I got. And I came across some 360 games, Wheelman as well. This. I came across one Xbox One game that I bought. It was Madden 20 because it was $1. I'm like, I don't have a Madden. This one's a Pinata, Trouble in Paradise. This is a cool game. I like the first few Pinata as well. I didn't play a ton of this one. I played a ton of the first one. But cool grab. These are the ones I got. What did I get? 8 games for $10. There's a Genesis game in there, hard drive, and a couple of PS1 games, which I'll show 2 of them. There was this 360 game, and there was the Force Unleashed 2 and Red Dead Redemption, the PS3. But always cool. These games actually have more value. They still have some. This one, the first one didn't have as much. This one would have more. This one would sell for like 30 a couple of years ago. Now it's down to the high teens, probably because it got released on the Rare Replay. I grabbed 2 of the PS1 games that came in that lot. Tecmo Super Bowl, which has a little value itself. I did play some of this. It was cool. I remember I thought it was only on that one angle. You see that angle on the top? It's like isometric, but it's like on it's an angle, but I didn't even read the back. That's why I'm an idiot. I didn't know. It should tell you, right? Where is it? Oh, three different playing perspectives. I'm like, oh, you can't play the classic Tecmo Blade. You can play that way. You can play top down, side to side, or on that diagonal. Really cool, though. I want to get into this more, actually. I did get those Harry Potters at that other G sale. I didn't pull any of those out, but it was GameCube Harry Potter. It was a couple GBA games. The Harry Potter on the PS1. But another one, this is the hit. Not like it's a massive hit, but a nice little hit of that G sale with the Tecmo and Viva Pinata, but Resident Evil Director's Cut. This is the greatest hits version. The Black Label version of this one is more money because it had, I think, a demo disc in it for I don't even know what. Really cool though. I was happy to see. I was like, oh shit! Like, and another G sale. I think I got two a bit later. So sometimes you can still get lucky. This is an interesting G sale. I went there last year too as well, I believe. And it like the way the house is set up because it's like almost on like a little bit of a hill, so it goes down the driveway. So the house is like up here, and the driveway goes kind of down in the back. And you go there, and maybe you're not see. If you're driving past, you're not going to see it. Like if you go past quick enough, but I'm walking past. I'm like, oh, there it is. And I knew it was the house I went to last year too. So, but very happy to get this. It's very, at least for me, it's very rare that I come across survival horror games at garage sales. It has happened before. Back in 09 again, I came across Silent Hill 4 for the PS2 at a G sale. Even here, I came across the Cold Fear and Ghost Hunter. Cold Fear is more of survival horror. Ghost Hunter is more of an action horror. For the PS2, I have come across the first three Resident Evils, not the director's cut, but the original one, and 2 and 3 for the PlayStation 1. I've come across Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil for the Cube as well. What else have I come across? Survival horror related. Well, Night Trap, I guess, is kind of a survival horror-ish game on the Sega CD. I don't think I've come across any other Silent Hills other than that 4. I'm really waiting to come across like Rule of Rose or Haunting Ground. Dude, that will never happen. That mainly wouldn't happen because those games are hard to find to begin with, so it's not like people are just throwing them up at G sales. That's why you see a ton of Mario Kart Wii's at garage sales because so many people had them. Speaking of the Wii, I got this one at that G sale. I got the Mario Maker for the Wii U and the Sonic Collection on the DS. I sold the Sonic Collection. I gotta sell the Mario Maker because I already have that game. I'm like, I'm gonna keep this one for my very small Wii collection. This Twilight Princess. Well, I technically have more, but those will probably eventually get sold. But I'm counting ones I would keep. Mario Galaxy, Twilight Princess, and Indiana Jones and Steph Doom. This isn't overly valuable game anymore, but still cool to have. This one I got, what was this? I got Pokemon Battle Revolution, which I sold. I still have Wii Sports Resort. There's a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Super Smash Brothers. Oh, and another one, actually. I'll pull that one out in a sec. I don't know which one it is, though. I got them confused, so I don't know which one I got. Actually, you know what? I can find out which sales I came to because I put them on Instagram. Because like everybody else, I gotta show you what I did. Because everybody wants to know what I did. Not. Let's see. Come on. There we go. This one came from... Oh, okay. So the first one was in the lot with this. So I'll get to that in a sec. I should have kept that up. These were... Ended up being 6. It was 6 for 17. It originally was 7 for 20, but one was... I grabbed the second Super Smash Brothers, but the disc wasn't in there. And the guy gave me $3 back. So I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I got a better deal. This is in there, Mario Kart Party 8. Doesn't have the manual. I had a manual for this, but I think I sold it. These discs from this one were a little busted up, scratched up, I should say. The other one that was in there, I got it confused because I had the second one as well that I got at G-Sale, but it's a NFL Street. This one does work. This is another one where the disc is very scratched up. I need to get something to clean these, like not buff them, but kind of just clean them a little bit. That solution or whatever the fuck it is. I know some people like this sound. It is a pretty nice sound, actually. And the PS2 is like the game cases are like the ones that really like the only ones that do this. Let me see if I can show you this. This disc is pretty. I mean, this disc. I mean, it's like a shit ton of light scratches. It's hard. Yeah, you can see there. Nothing deep. That's why it works. These games though have value. The NFL Street games. Some of the NBA Street ones do as well. I want to say they made a third one, but it was on like PS3 and 360. But that other garage sale, I got this one at the second one, which was also, I think, pretty scratched. This one doesn't do it as much. Wheelman was at this one. This is the one that had Madden 20. Tekken 4 for the PS2. Jaws Unleashed for the PS2. There's a couple disc-only games, like some SpongeBob SquarePants. I was just getting those because I thought they might have value, and some of them do. Sonic Colors for the Wii. Something else in there. Oh yeah, the picture. Let's go back to the old Instagram. It's actually good to put the stuff on there. I mean, I have the videos, so I have like an archive of the Kingdom Hearts, Jaws Unleashed, Wheelman, Tekken 4, NFL Blitz for the PS1, Sonic Colors, 2 SpongeBob games. One says Beach Blast, maybe, or something. Cubics as well. I just grabbed that because it's a PS1 game. This one actually has one nasty mark on it, but this one actually does work too, I believe. It's hard to tell. You always get excited when you find something, even wherever you may be, you find something great. You're like, oh, you're pumped to get home, and it works, but the fucking disc is all fucked up or something's wrong, you know. And that's why you don't pay much. Those were all $1 a piece at that one. You can't go wrong because if the thing don't work, it's disappointing, but you're gonna take a risk for $1. And the last 3 things came from the same G sale. Everybody's gonna remember these from other ones, but this is the one that had the No Mercy N64 with the autograph that someone said could be Chris Jericho's. And I looked at his. I was like, oh yeah, it could be. So I don't know for sure, but it definitely looks like it a little bit. It's definitely an autograph, regardless. It's not like random scribbling, although a lot of autographs are kind of just random scribbling. Pretty good tapping sound. Now, this does work. I don't know if anybody knows. Like, I was trying to figure it out. I got to look it up on Google. Because whoever owned this game, like, did a lot of created characters, and I guess you could, like, replace existing characters and, like, make somebody else up or something. And it's, like, not all the full roster. It's, like, the full roster, but they look different, or, like, someone made CM Punk for the game, or other people, whoever the hell it may be, that weren't in this game at the time, weren't part of WWF, WWE now. If anybody knows how to kind of reset the roster, if it's even possible, let me know. But it's in good shape. I mean, even the autograph looks decent enough to where it's not like, oh, like someone's scribbling their name across. I think we've all probably done that back in the day at some point, to signify it was yours. It's insane to say this, but the 2 best hits of probably the season, just based on value, not based on, like, my want. However, this was this one first. This Paper Mario box for the N64. When I saw these, this and the other one I'll show next, I was like, there's no way the games are in here. There's no way the games, and they weren't. But they did have the manuals. You know, this is a little busted up, for sure, but I could probably sell this for like $100, the two of these things, which is crazy. I've sold N64 game boxes in the past, like Star Fox, the Indiana Jones game, a couple others I sold in a lot. It's like 1080 Mission Impossible, Diddy Kong Racing or something. I mean, just this alone, like, because it was $10 for everything. It was this box, another box, I think 6 manuals. I sold the Harvest Moon 64 one and the No Mercy game. It's a great deal. When he said 10, I was like, of course, because I knew even the box and manual and the box and manual for the other one were going to have value. I didn't know they'd have as much as they did. The next one here is Ogre Battle 64. Person of Lordly Caliber, like the titles they come up with for video games. This one does have, it's a thick manual as well. I also had Donkey Kong 64 manual, Mission Impossible, and the Scooby-Doo game. It still has the plastic on it, and the wrapper in there as well. You'd get on the game itself, like the plastic. And these were just a bunch of different inserts. These are obviously all not from this one, but I don't know if this had a map or a poster as well. Just the Mission Impossible poster. It's got other games from Ocean on it. This is a great game right here. Great puzzle game, Letrix. Some other games I never played. Looney Tunes, Space Circus, Fighter's Destiny. And a bunch of other inserts as well that you would get. Oh yeah, and it's got the card too, because you get these like registration cards. Even up into PS2, I don't know if they did it in PS3 or Xbox, but you'd like fill it out and send it in. I don't know if you'd even get anything for it. It even tells your age and it only goes to 35 plus. When did this come out? 2000 probably? No, this couldn't have been 96. When did this come out? The system came out here in 96. There's no way this came out in 96. Oh, 99. Oh, 2000. That says 99. So it was probably made. So it was made in 2099, but it came out in 2000. So by the time this came out, I was 21. I was like 35 plus, that's old. And then I'm 35 plus, and you're like, oh, it's not that old. That's like I guess you call it a pet peeve of mine. Is when people are like 25 and they're like, and people did this when I was that age. I'm so old. It's like, just stop. Unless you're sick and you will die by a few years later, you're not old. You know, you're young. I'm sure only going to live to 28, then yes, you're old. I was like, I'm 43 and I'm not even sitting here saying I'm old. I'm not. Because in someone's 60s, like, get the fuck out of here. I want to be 43. It's the same thing with me. I'm like, oh, I'd love to be 35. But anyway, me bitching about that. Ogre Battle 64, box and manual. This thing, box and manual, literally some people are trying to sell us for $250. And they're even selling for like, you know, if you sell the two of them together, $150. It's nuts. I might try to sell the Ogre Battle one because I don't think I'll ever come across the actual game. You can buy the game for like $100, $90. It's like almost part of me. It's like I almost want to buy the game because I'd still make profit if I spent $95 on the game on top of the, you know, if you split up all the stuff for $10 and it was like, $2, we'll just say. If I spend $100 total and I sold the game complete for $250, I'm still making like $100, which is nuts. Actually, no, yes, I'd be making, because eBay would take an insane amount of fees. But anyway, it's funny how boxes and manuals are the real heavy hitters. Some of my actually best hits, if not in terms of value, could be actually my best hits of all time, which is crazy. I come across a lot of stuff, and like I say, I come across like a lot of that like $20 to $50 stuff. I don't come across a lot of stuff that exceeds $100 in value. It's not like I used to watch G-Sale pickup videos back in the day, and they'd be like, yeah, I got all this stuff at a garage sale. And it's like every heavy hitter for every system. Like, bullshit you did. Either they came out of your own collection and you're making a spicy video, which is understandable, or you got some of that stuff, or you got all that stuff over years and you're combining. Because I'm like, really? Where are you going? Craigslist? Sure. Garage sales? Like, you're going to tell me you came across every rare game for like 6 different systems at a garage sale one weekend? Anyway, that's a request there for a garage sale season recap. I like that idea. I was like, oh yeah, I can. I think he said something, and then I was like, yeah, I could do like a recap. And like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe I'll do it again next summer as well. But I can't wait for them to pop back up again. They're shut down now for a bit. I looked during the winter because some people have indoor ones. It's rare, but they do. But I'm hoping for like a late March, early April start up again. Yeah, thanks for checking us out, and